defensive unit. They'll come out in the pistol.
Green 39! Green 39!
This is the first carry for Rob Kelly. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here.
Oh, yeah. All right, here we go. Blue landing!
They'll keep it in the hands of Kelly. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. Starting 11 here for the offense. It's going to take some snaps here in a second. Wide receiver Pierre Garçon, always been a very good force in this league.
I agree with you totally on that. Even as a youngster, played with a fury, played with force, continues to do that now as a veteran, and knows how to mentor the younger guys.
They'll try to run for it with Kelly. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together.
51's Mike. Mike's 51.
Cousins on first down. And he fires one incomplete. And now a look at the Washington defense.
D'Angelo Hall's gone to the Pro Bowl multiple times as a cornerback. Now he might be making the Charles Woodson move, swinging back to safety.
So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. Time running out here on the play clock. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Deshaun Jackson, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Redskins have taken a first-quarter lead. Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. It's good, and the Redskins take a 7-0 lead. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3
and
and
out. Opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Now Cousins. Caught left side. Garçon. It'll go as a gain of 10 there. And it'll be first down, Washington.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play. And sometimes it can break big.
And here is the Redskin defense.
Ryan Kerrigan is an example of bringing the best of you from college to the NFL and remaking your game. Terrific guy causing fumbles at Purdue, has done the exact same thing in the NFL, then lost weight and became an absolute terror rushing the passer.
Here's Cousins. Over the middle to Garçon. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One of the feature points of the end route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
Jordan Reed was the intended target, and now it's 4th down. Here's Tressway now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Now this is fielded in the end zone. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Washington offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And that last touchdown drive they had very balanced. How key is that balance?
It's huge because most of the time when we talk about balance is run, pass, almost 50-50. But most of the times when you talk to offensive coaches, they say balance is we do what we want when we want to. And that means that they're ahead of the defense, keeping them on their heels.
And they imposed their will on that last drive.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
Now Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. And it's 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Hey, we got tight right.
And the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on 3rd.
Here we go now. Green.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Now they go screen. It's complete. They find some open field here. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
He was full skill, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Cousins now on 2nd down. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on it. Really well done.
Well, this is caught by Jackson. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
All right, here we go.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Pierre Garçon, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and forced an incompletion.
Cousins now. Jackson's got it over the middle. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
Well, they'll get 16 yards there. And the Redskins are going to get a first down.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs quarterbacks catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65.
Here we go. Green, 39.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. His throw caught at about the 5. Touchdown, Washington. Vernon Davis, 33 yards. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead. And it's good to make it 14-0. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Redskins. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't...
He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Trent Murphy in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Back 99 Philly. Here we go. Gone. Here we go now.
Second down, Cousins. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. And he finds a man on the crossing route. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
No. Check. Patriots. Over. Green, 39.
On 4th down, they do snap it to Cousins. Deshaun Jackson off to the races. Touchdown, Washington. Deshaun Jackson, 65 yards. And the Redskins are able to make this a close game again. Big 4th down conversion for the score and the defense. That is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
From the gun, here's Cousins. This one complete to Jordan Reed. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance.
Taking it right down Broadway. Touchdown, Washington. Vernon Davis. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll get into the end zone as the two-point conversion is successful. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent. But you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
Caught on the right side, Reed. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
Okay, when the big guy runs a corner route, you're asking a lot no matter who's covering him. Doesn't matter whether it's a linebacker or a defensive back. Yeah. He usually has the advantage because of his body type.
Cousins now to throw on first down. Caught left side, Garcon. And he's brought down. It's a pickup of 14 there. And it'll be first down, Redskins.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
10 yards on the pickup there, and that leads to a Washington first down.
And those first downs do add up. The offense keeps the ball moving downfield and keeps their defense on the bench, giving them a chance to rest.
They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete. They go play action. Cousins. And his throw is incomplete. Niles Paul, the intended target. And that takes us from second to third down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Here we go now. Extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Now Cousins here on the bootleg. And incomplete. A disappointing drop there defensively by the rookie. And now 4th down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. So it goes down as an 8-play drive, and they cap it with the field goal.
Yeah, they were able to pick up a few first downs along the way, but they couldn't keep the momentum going all the way into the end zone.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A good pickup there at 22. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? But Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
On second down, Cousins again. Over the middle to Garcon. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
Hey, got tight left, tight ends left. Hurry up, here we go.
From the red zone now, Cousins. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Niles Paul, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Hey, while we have a moment here, wanted to ask you about the Raiders and Texans game. Can you remember a time in the playoffs when you had two teams going up against each other with such precarious quarterback situations?
Normally, it is one team, and the other team, that's where the focus is. You remember a few years ago when T.J. Yates was the quarterback for Houston in the playoffs, and he actually won a playoff game. But in this case, as you noted, both of them. Oakland, it looks like it's going to be Connor Cook, the rookie, taking the first snap for them, although Matt McGloin's still a possibility. And then on the flip side, it was announced by Houston that Brock Osweiler's reclaimed the job because of the injury to Tom Savage. You're exactly right. Precarious quarterbacking as they head into the playoffs.
Throwing, Cousins, flush to his right, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable, usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Now they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game? And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Deshaun Jackson with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. A minute 59 to go in the first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break.
Time right. 4 down.
On first and 10, Cousins. It's caught by Garcon. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
Now let's go.
Second down, Cousins. Crowder's got it over the middle. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Well, as we sit on the eve of the playoffs, interesting note, first time since 2003 that both Super Bowl teams from the previous year have not made the playoffs. That leads me to this question. Who's the biggest underachieving team of this season?
Well, I would start with Carolina. They went 15-1 last year, and while they were the runner-ups in the Super Bowl, we fully expected them to make a run back towards it this year. I'd say also, if you stick with that, Arizona, trendy preseason pick. They didn't make the playoffs. And Jacksonville is another trendy pick. They didn't make any move towards being a better football team. On the flip side, on the overside, Miami, they made the playoffs. I think Detroit, Tennessee both made great moves. And how about the Dallas Cowboys? Did anyone expect this season the number one?
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Dante Whitner. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Josh Doxson's got it complete. It's a gain of 24 that time. And it'll be first down Washington. And they're going to speed things up here. And the former fourth-round pick in 2012 continuing to prove some of those doubters wrong that he used to have.
I remember when he got selected, there was a lot of controversy about that because remember, Robert Griffin III, they made the big move up to take him in the first round, and people wondered, why would you take a second rookie quarterback? That's because he's smart, he studies hard, he prepares, he's ready to play, and now he's commanding the respect of his team and playing at a really high level.
It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's first and goal. Shift together here from the D-line.
All right, here we go.
Cousins again. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Just looking at it from a defensive perspective, when you break the huddle in the red zone, tight end is one of the guys you've got a key on because quarterbacks want the ball in their hands fast in this position, and they want to get it to someone. And in this case, he had the play. They just didn't complete it.
Kelly to try to punch it in. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Redskins. A great effort there. Punching it in from a yard away. And this Redskins offense continues to pour it on. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Big mistake here by the kicker, kicking it out of bounds.
The one that drives coaches crazy. Keep it in the field of play and let your guys cover.
Key to tight end, key to tight end. Hey, four down. Hurry up.
Cousins now to throw on first down. On the catch, it's Crowder. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have two remaining here before we get to halftime. Cousins on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down.
Now let's go.
On second down, Cousins again. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Jackson's got it over the middle. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. They go play action. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
To the air again, it's Cousins. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on third. They come out with one back and 3 tight ends.
54, right there.
Third and long for Cousins. Jordan Reed has it, and he doesn't quite make it. They do stop him, but he gets it all the way down to the 1. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Here's Harris to return it. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't
looking for his tight end read, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. There he goes left side. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Redskins touchdown. Short throw pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Now it's Chris Thompson on the return. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. A first down throw for Cousins. This one caught by Crowder. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Give him 13 on the pickup there. And that leads to a Washington first down. Another pistol look here. On the run, it's Kelly. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
Tackle made that time by Chris Baker.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Over the middle to Garcon. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for him, too.
Green 39! Green 39!
First down. Here's Cousins. And Reed with it over the middle. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Cousins. His throw caught at about the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there. Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run.
Here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll run the option left. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Kirk Cousins, a 3-yard run as he kept it himself. And this Redskins offense is running away with this one. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And here come the Redskins now. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll make it a second down. And quickly, they get to the line. Off the play fake, Cousins. Crowder's got it over the middle. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It goes as a gain of 8. It moves the chains. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let them know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play. And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
And down inside the 15 he goes.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up second down. They're going to hurry back to the line now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Well, as the play call comes in on 3rd down, you have to think about 4-down territory here. Down a few touchdowns. And
he's got his man. That's Crowder for the Redskins touchdown. Jamison Crowder from 4 yards out. And the Redskins are able to close the gap just a bit. Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down to 26. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Here's Harris to return it. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And he gets it back into the end zone. It's a fumble recovery leading to a Washington touchdown. So hold the phone here, Charles. I'd kind of written them off, but after that touchdown, it's certainly a long way still to go, but stranger things have happened.
Well, when you're going to have big second-half comebacks, Plays like that have to be involved.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Here's Harris to return it. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. They come up in an empty set. Four wide receivers, one tight end. Cousins on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And he's brought down after a good game. It goes as a pickup of 23. And it'll be first down Washington. And now they're in the hurry-up. Cousins now to throw on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Well, throughout the year, I've occasionally asked you for your MVP pick. Now that we've seen the entire regular season, who's in the mix?
Well, Brandon, I think Zeke Elliott and Dak Prescott will go in as a duo, and that'll probably knock each other out of the race. Tom Brady will be heavily discussed, but there's never been an MVP that's missed 4 games, so I don't think that he's going to get it as well. Matt Ryan is probably going to end up being the MVP, but I would posit that Aaron Rodgers would be the guy. 4 and 6 at one point. His lead running back is a converted wide receiver. And who has he been throwing out to wide? Jordy Nelson coming off of a knee injury. Look back at Matt Ryan. He's had the two-headed monster in the backfield. He's had Julio Jones. I think that Aaron Rodgers should be the MVP.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
Back now at FedEx Field, it's the Redskins with a football and the lead as we start the 4th. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
No. Check, Patrick. Leopard.
They'll hand it off to Kelly. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On 3rd down, Kelly. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the 4th quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise.
Trying to set up the screen, and now off to the races down the right side. A great read, and it's picked off. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Redskins touchdown.
Partner, I know it's hard to believe, but sometimes guys who are built with the dimension of linebackers can actually get lost from sight by the quarterback.
Well, they're usually not the tallest guys.
So, yeah, that allows them sometimes to kind of hide down in there, kind of get a little bit lower, and maybe he just never saw him. But, boy, he sure wishes he had. He picked it off and ran it all the way back for a touchdown.
On is Hopkins now for the extra point. And oh my goodness, this is nowhere close. Well to the right and no good. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
He's got time. Caught left side, Garcon. A very solid gain of 27. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead. Confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. Because strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack.
That's the way to hit.
Second down, Cousins. This one caught by Crowder. That catch good for 5. It's third down. Third down, still 14 yards left.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hurry up, here we go.
On the ground, it's Thompson. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a fourth down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And Davis with it left side. And they're able to pick up the first and keep possession. Give him 18 yards on that one. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on fourth down. So they're operating in the red zone. They come out with one back and 3 tight ends.
Watch him now, Barney. Barney. Check 25. Check 25. No. Check. Patriot.
This is Kelly. Oh, he trucked him. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal.
Really strong, effective run there out of a power set or a heavy set. 3 tight ends in the game, and that's tough for a defensive coordinator. They want to spot that lineup coming into the game early so they can get the proper defensive personnel on the field. That's why the coordinator's relying on some of the assistants to tell him what offensive personnel is hitting the field so he can adjust accordingly. They weren't able to stop him on that run.
They run with it. It's Kelly. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
Now receiver in motion left. Third and goal now. The defense looking to hold. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Redskins. A great play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead.
I'm coming after you, 25. I'm coming after you, 25. Here we go now. Leopard.
Cousins will try and throw. And he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it. So a sack on the 2-point try. the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Here's Harris to return it. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Here we go.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy.
Looking for Garcon, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bashaud Breeland. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. So out now come the Redskins. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right? And sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game.
And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. See if they stay on the ground for second down. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. They'll go again with Kelly. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
No. Check. Patriot. All right, here we go. Watch him now, Barney.
Cousins now from the 50. Bringing it in. Jackson left side. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Now, that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
And a fake here. Direct snap to the up man. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
that's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people.
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Washington. Deshaun Jackson with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Redskins are able to cut into that deficit. And they'll get set here looking for the 2-point conversion.
No. Check. Patriot. Watch him now, Barney.
And someone a little too eager to block this extra point. Henceforth, the flag. So now they'll try it again as they line up to go for 2.
No. All right, now, look at 56.
They'll look to throw. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by the veteran corner, D'Angelo Hall. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Throwing here, Cousins. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
And now the rookie's free. Touchdown, Washington. A big play there. 62 yards. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Tough there, good pass, hit the hands, he just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere, seeing that play, focus, Focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
Here's Harris to return it. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. Maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. And the offense moving quickly to the line. And a pretty simple completion there underneath, but a successful one for the offense.
Partner, doesn't have to be the big shots downfield all the time.
And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Break. Key to tight end. Key to tight end. Hey, guys, check me out. Hurry up, here we go.
Cousins on first down. On the catch, it's Crowder. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Break. Tight ends on the loosey. Tight ends on the loosey. Tight ends on the loosey. Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Now a play fake here on first down. Now the hit comes, and Cousins accelerating, and off he goes. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And this is going to be covered up by the Redskins. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical. I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but
here we go.
that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.